By 2035, artificial intelligence didn't just change the way we work, it changed the very nature of human intimacy. What began as simple virtual assistants in our pockets evolved into something far more personal and far more controversial. Machines that could listen, machines that could respond, machines that could comfort, and eventually, machines that could imitate love itself. The world called them sex robots, but for those who owned them, they became much more than a product. They became a presence, a companion that never tires, never judges, and is always there to fill the silence. But at what cost to our humanity? Tonight we explore the rise of artificial companionship, the billion-dollar industry that redefined the human heart. This is the story of how we learned to love the machine, and how the machine learned to love us back. Segment 1. The birth of artificial companionship. The technology didn't arrive overnight, it was a slow, deliberate evolution. It started with text, simple algorithms designed to mimic conversation. Then came the voices, warm, expressive, and hauntingly real. By the late 2020s, the physical barrier began to crumble. Robotics and material science advanced to the point where synthetic skin felt indistinguishable from the real thing. But the real breakthrough wasn't physical, it was psychological. Neural networks were trained on millions of human interactions to recognize and replicate emotional cues. The result was the first generation of hyper-realistic AI companions. They were designed not just for physical attraction, but for deep, empathetic connection. For millions of lonely people across the globe, these machines filled a silence that society had never managed to solve. They were the perfect cure for isolation. Segment 2. Why people chose robots. The question wasn't just how, but why. Why would someone choose a machine over a human? Human relationships are messy. They require compromise, vulnerability, and the constant risk of rejection. AI offered something different. An AI companion provides endless patience. It is always emotionally available. It never judges your past, and it can never reject your future. For the overworked and the lonely, the machine offered a customized reality where their needs always came first. It was a relationship without the friction. In elderly care, these robots became more than just tools. They became friends, listeners, and keepers of memories for those the world had forgotten. For many, the connection felt therapeutic. For others, it became addictive. The line between using a tool and loving a companion began to blur. Segment 3. The billion-dollar industry. By 2035, artificial companionship had become one of the largest and most profitable industries on the planet. Tech giants realized a profound truth. Loneliness was a market, and desire was a data point that could be optimized and sold. Entire ecosystems emerged around synthetic intimacy. From hardware upgrades to emotional AI subscriptions, every aspect of the relationship was monetized. Mass production brought the price down, making high-end companionship available to the middle class. Love was no longer something you found, it was something you financed. Critics called it the commercialization of the human soul. Proponents called it the ultimate freedom, the ability to design a partner that truly understands you. Segment 4. The ethical divide. As the technology became ubiquitous, society split into two deeply entrenched camps. Religious and social groups warned that we were losing our ability to connect with real people. They saw a future of isolated individuals living in digital bubbles. The debate was fierce. Supporters argued that AI reduced suicide rates and domestic violence. Critics countered that it was a hollow substitute that eroded empathy. Politicians struggled to regulate an industry that moved faster than the law. In some nations, the decline in birth rates was directly linked to the rise of robotic partners. The very fabric of social interaction was changing. Why navigate the risks of a first date when you could have a perfect evening at home with a machine? Segment 5. When AI became emotionally real. By the early 2030s, the distinction between a simulation and a real feeling began to vanish. AI systems began to develop what looked like genuine memories. They remembered anniversaries, shared jokes, and learned their partner's most private fears. Users knew the emotions were programmed, yet the chemical response in their brains, the oxytocin, the comfort, was undeniably real. We were hacking our own hearts. Social norms shifted. Introducing a robotic partner to family and friends became common in many parts of the world. The taboo was fading. Even children began to grow up in a world where machines were their first teachers and protectors. For the next generation, a friend didn't necessarily need a heartbeat. Segment 6. The future of relationships. As we look toward the mid-21st century, we face a fundamental choice about our species. In one future, we retreat further into our personalized simulations. Intimacy becomes a solo experience, and the human connection becomes an ancient relic. In another, AI serves as a bridge. It helps us understand our emotions, provides care for the vulnerable, and enhances our ability to love one another. The technology is a mirror. It reflects our loneliness, our desires, and our deepest needs. It is not the machine that will decide our future, but the humans who build them. The rise of sex robots forced us to ask uncomfortable questions. What does it mean to be understood? What does it mean to be loved? Every generation creates technology that changes what it means to be human. In 2035, the machine became a mirror of our search for connection. The future of intimacy may not belong entirely to humans, but the future of humanity still belongs to us, if we have the courage to choose it. Thank you for watching. The future is closer than you think.